beautiful people. I hope you are all well. And naturally, the dog starts barking. Very, very typical. I just want to react to a few things that have come out since my previous live. Again, I haven't announced it. I don't expect anyone to be coming and watching all of this. But I'm just going to say what's going on. So I had a sorry about the dog. I had a very long comment from Avid Gardener, and there's a few things I want to respond to. I did delete the comment because it was frankly quite aggressive, and I don't like nastiness in my comments. But I'm going to respond. So one of the first things she said was that she's never been in touch with me and she's never censored anyone. And I think that what she was referring to was when I said Fiona had said Trevor wouldn't want me saying this. And I'm sorry if I inadvertently implied that she'd said that to me. What I was referring to was a video of hers where she said that. That, you know, Trevor wouldn't want her saying, I think she was talking about Atlanta or something. And it was more about how we even censor ourselves because, you know, behind the scenes, she's had a chat with Trevor. He's obviously upset about something. She knows he doesn't really want her talking about it, but she feels like she needs to. So we even censor ourselves when we're in touch with people behind the scenes. And yet, to my knowledge, she hasn't censored anybody. And I wasn't trying to imply that. Like I say, I've got that wrong. She wasn't contacting me, and I should have made that clearer, and I do apologise for that. Then she said that she thinks I don't like that Slime and Trevor had a big discussion and compared notes on Gertie and discussed dick pics and things like that. Wasn't aware of it, so didn't care if they had a chat or not, to be honest. With the dick pics, what I will say is that I have seen the messages, and one was a message and one was a picture. Now, it may surprise you to know that I don't know what Trevor's penis looks like. So I could not tell you if that's his penis or not. And the reason I never went public with it, even though I have those photos, I've been sent those photos, is it could very easily be photoshopped. They were sent on to me. Hi, what does that say? Robloxology. Hi, Fraser. I'm just responding. If you're just joining, I'm just responding to what came out of my live last night. Oh, thank you for liking me, Robloxology. Hi, Jay. I've seen the pictures, the dick pic, the famous dick pic that's been discussed. But like I say, the reason I didn't go public with it and go, look, I have receipts, I can send, you know, show this, is firstly, it's just an image with an avatar. Oh, thank you, Fraser. It's just a picture, you know, with a little photo of Trevor Colt in the corner. I don't know what platform it was meant to be sent on or anything like that. And also the way it was passed on. So I was told it was from a subscriber of Trevor's who'd had this experience with him, and didn't want to have the pictures shown or anything because he would know it was her. Well, if he's done this with many subscribers, how would he know it was her? And these are very bland pictures. Thanks, Jay, for liking and subscribing. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't trust where those pictures had come from. Not that the person who showed them to me, I didn't trust them. I didn't trust whoever had sent them to them, who made these pictures, who got these pictures. I hadn't talked to that person, so I wasn't prepared to share them. And therefore, you know, I'm not going to allege that they were real or not real. One of the other things that Fiona said was, you know, what do I think of Gertie saying things like people are whores? I didn't say yesterday. I think everyone except Gertie should refrain from making personal comments. I said I think everybody should refrain from making personal comments and name calling. We're adults. Um, we shouldn't be name calling each other. I did say yesterday, we shouldn't be making aspersions about people's sex lives. That's my personal opinion. She also referenced the PayPal and around the funeral. And looking back, I think I was manipulated, which is embarrassing to say. But because I attended virtually Graham's funeral, and I saw the PayPal link, but what you could see was like paypal.co.uk/GRAH. You couldn't see the whole name. And then and I didn't click on it. Sorry, didn't send any money. And then over a bit of time, I had, I think, about 6 emails from people saying they were a bit worried that had Fiona got the money, she'd thanked people for donating, but had she been given the money? And I talked to somebody, another content creator, about this, and they said that the link was PayPal/Graham's funeral or Graham Flowers. And I took that as truth, and I shouldn't have, without actually seeing a screenshot of the link or anything like that. So by that point, I had enough to say, okay, I'm going to ask about this. And I did apologise to Fiona, and I did, and Trevor, and said, okay, look, I've got the wrong end of the stick. And I did try to impress upon her that it had come from a place of concern for her and her family. That, she's vulnerable, she's grieving. Had she received those funds, it was something. But now I think, was that kind of planned, to be honest? Bunch of fake email accounts, it's very easy to do, isn't it? And had someone sort of put me up to doing that. And hindsight's a marvellous thing, isn't it? And I will say again, I do sincerely apologise for asking that. Unfortunately, because like Fiona said, we've never been in touch. So I couldn't just ask her, which I would have much preferred to do. And nobody I knew who was in touch with her would ask her. So, and I felt really concerned at that point. But I think I was manipulated, to be honest. Most of the rest of the comment that was left for me was about Gertie Rude. It wasn't about me. I'm not Gertie Rude. I don't control Gertie Rude. I can say to her, I can advise her, I don't think you should say that, but it's up to her. It's her channel. And I don't control what she says. Where are we? It's odd that Trevor the other night said one of his trolls had been stopped by the police and had promised not to use their social media anymore. Then Gertie stopped using her account, and then you pop up out of the blue. I know of one troll that was stopped by the police, was a man. I believe Gertie stopped using her account, one of 2. I don't know. I stopped going on X after about 5 minutes, if that's what you mean. I know she's got like a second YouTube channel because she thinks the first one's being attacked by bots and stuff. Like I said yesterday, I popped up again because I felt like my voice had been taken away. I was being censored a lot. I was being told all the time, constantly, that I couldn't say this, that, and the other. Being asked, can you comment and big up and recommend this, that, and the other, and then being told to edit things. I wasn't wording them well enough and stuff like that. And I wanted to clarify, because I know that it was being said like, oh, it's just because of screwed slime that I stopped. I mean, that's part of it. You raise your head above the parapet, you get shot. And unfortunately, he doesn't shoot me, he shoots the person he thinks is me. And that's not really fair. But things have sort of died down a bit. And to be honest, I took a bit of a break from it because it was too much. So I wasn't, for 6 months, not a year, I didn't say a year, for about 6 months, I didn't post anything. I watched here and there things that were recommended to me or brought to my attention, but I don't religiously follow these channels. And I can't keep up with the constant. I was being told, oh, you should look at such and such because they said this, and then it's not even their live. They were on someone else's live, and I just get confused, to be honest. Couldn't keep up with it. I've seen a few things, like Candor. So the first one I saw about Candor, it was brought to my attention because it was about Gertie. Anyone with bots would be deleting a lot more subs. I think I'm a bit confused with the subs because she had 6,000 and then she's got like 5.5 or something. Like she's pretty much where she was anyway. Hey, Nana Mouse. I don't know how many she was losing, if she's built all those numbers up again. I don't know, and I don't know how bots work. Maybe she was fed that information. I think she was. I think someone said to her, oh, Trevor and Avid and that, they send bots to destroy your channel. I think she believed it. I don't know if it's true. The Bibbity Bobbity Bot Farm. I don't know, but I think if you don't know a lot about technology and somebody says to you they're going to destroy your channel by removing subs, and they do it 10 at a time so that YouTube won't catch on, I think I'd probably believe that. I don't know why we've ended up on the bot farm, to be honest. That wasn't where I was going. I was talking about Candor. I gather there's a live where I was mentioned. And I watched about 5 minutes of it because I didn't have time. And I really wanted to address Fiona. I don't like the thought of Fiona being upset by things I've said. And like I say, that was my fault. I didn't word things right. I didn't give the right context. That's the thing that was missing, was context. When you know what you're referring to, so you just go to it and you forget, and the people look at you like, what? And I know Candor said, like, who are these people behind the scenes? And I don't want to mention people because I feel like that's just bad mouthing. I'm not trying to bad mouth people. I'm trying to explain that when people say, oh, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, that there actually kind of is. And I know people accuse you of saying, oh, it's just a get out clause. But there is a lot. There's so much information and misinformation. Hi, Chocolate Frenzy. So much misinformation is shared between these content creators. And like I said, especially when people are monetized, they have an agenda. If they're in a spat with somebody, they have an agenda. And I think it's important that when we're watching this stuff, remember that. And take things with a pinch of salt. And I mean that about everybody. It could be Joe Blogs down the street who's moaning about his neighbour. There's 3 sides to every story. There's side A and side B, and the truth somewhere in the middle. And he said Candor said I should rename my channel Opinion Central. And And I did say to you guys yesterday, I mean, clearly he didn't watch the whole thing, because I did say a lot of why I haven't been around. And the reason this isn't a slideshow is because I don't have the proof. Hi, Acrobat. I don't have receipts. And even if I had receipts, why should you trust my receipts? They can be manipulated, they can be photoshopped, they can be taken out of context. But I do try to make it clear when something is my opinion. And I will explain why I have that opinion as much as I'm able. Because I think that's fair. Nana Mouse, there's a lot of negativity and paranoia. Thank you. I'm glad it's a breath of fresh air. I think there is a lot of paranoia. I think there's a lot of feeling like people are out to get them, especially when it's a bigger channel versus a smaller channel, which I think is sad. And, I think the entirety of YouTube, like as a community of content creators and people watching and subscribing, I think we need to just be together and stop that whole versus them versus us. Gertie's very paranoid. Possibly, I don't know. I know she does a lot of research. She's told me she does a lot of research on stuff. And maybe she's just gone so far down the rabbit hole that she's seeing things that we can't fathom and we can't picture it. I don't know what's going on. I haven't really spoken to her as much lately because I've been super, super busy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the thing is as well, she's been attacked a lot. And there's a lot of sock accounts, isn't there? And I think it's easy to imagine. I mean, I don't know who you are, Demelza. You could be Fiona. You could be Slime. I mean, I think they would come on here with their own name. But, you could be anybody. You could be Russell Green. Back to have another pop. I don't know. And I think that's the thing. When you've dealt with a lot of the stock accounts, especially on X, I think it's easy to start suspecting everybody. But she has been attacked a lot. So I don't know if it's actually paranoia or if she's got that reason, to suspect everybody. And I mean, I got to that point where I didn't trust anyone on YouTube. I don't know if Gertie's got sock accounts. I know she had like one sock account on X that she was using to troll the trolls. Other than that, I don't know. I think everyone knows now that she had a sock account. I don't know what other account she's got. I can't comment on that. But this is what I was trying to say to Fiona. Like, I'm not Gertie. I can't speak for Gertie because I'm not her. And I don't know all the information that she's been handed and the research she's done into things, so I can't really comment. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that stuff from yesterday because I don't like the idea if I've inadvertently implied that I was talking to Fiona and she said stuff, then that's not right. I was shocked today to see the uproar that little chat last night caused. It was a very nice chat. And if you think Gertie's paranoid, she's not alone on that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's paranoia or if she's right. I think there are a lot of people out to not get her. That's not the thing, is it? It's not that people are out to get her. I think a lot of people are upset and angry with her. And they've spent a lot of time talking about her. And I think she's got reason to feel like everyone's having a go, because a lot of people are. Nobody knows who anyone is. It's all become so convoluted. It has Acrobat. That's the thing. That's what I don't like, to just label things like, oh, she's paranoid. Because if she is paranoid, she's got bloody good reason to be. And like I say, I got, maybe not paranoid, but I stopped trusting anyone that I hadn't met in real life. Initially it was just people messaging, but even people I'd spoken to on Zoom and stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think I can trust them now. And that's why I've not been engaging, and I've made a point of not commenting, because it's just been people stirring the pot lately, and I feel like anything you say, I mean, I think I've been quite respectful. Even Candle's so upset I mentioned him, from what I saw of the 5 minutes that I saw on his live. And I just, that's not my intention. I just said that he was quite constructive in his criticism initially, and it seemed to devolve. She's the one who attacks, as far as I can see. I don't know. I think she was very hurt when she spoke out about Trevor, and a bunch of people agreed with her and said, like, yes, Trevor maybe not such a good chap, but I don't really know where they all are now. Like, Sapper obviously isn't around so much now. I don't know if he's back on. He got a job, I think, and he's too busy. Ormvie, I think, was like on her side, but then isn't. She seems to have had a go at everybody. I'm pretty sure Gertie's hurt a lot of people with her hypothesis and allegedly. That is probably true, but to give her credit where it's due, she did apologise. For example, Russell Green, she did apologise when she found out that, absolutely atrocious on X wasn't to be trusted. And I can say, for as far as I'm aware, that was not Gertie behind that account. Nobody knows. I'm pretty sure I saw something that indicated it was Graham, but when I went to look for it again, I couldn't find it. I didn't have it on my phone. So I'm not sure if what I saw is what I thought I saw. So to my knowledge, we don't know who that account was. And I think that account was appalling because of what it was putting out about Russell Green. And she did apologise. She apologised to Slime. She apologised to Paz and Andy. She's never apologised to people who had her back and promoted her. Who do you mean, Zephyr? Because she did apologise to a hell of a lot of people. If she didn't like Trevor, all she had to do was stop watching him, not put out lie after lie, and then go after Fiona. I don't think Gertie wanted Fiona to stop being friends with Trevor. My understanding was she felt Fiona didn't believe her. And that really upset her, because obviously they were very close. They did talk a lot. But I don't think she expected her to not be friends with him. I think she just wanted the benefit of the doubt. But again, I've only heard their side, each side. Obviously, Gertie I've spoken to personally. I've seen a few things of what Fiona has said. But again, there's the truth in the middle, so I don't know. the things Gertie has said and done to Fiona are disgusting and uncalled for. I think it's tricky when stuff's a parody. I don't agree with calling people a whore. You know, I know there were people saying like, "Oh, kiss Trevor," and Fiona's reaction wasn't what you might expect. Like, she wasn't outraged. You know, I'd be really annoyed if my partner had passed away and someone was asking me to kiss my male friend on it live. I'd be furious. But people react in different ways, you know. And to say that reaction indicates something went on, it's speculation. And I don't think we should be sort of going off on speculation and allegations. But I think she was very hurt. What she did to Fiona and Trevor is appalling. You go on about being kind, yet attack people with recent widows. Zephyr, do you mean me? Like, I'm attacking widows? Because I'm not trying to attack anybody. Thank you, Acrobat. Yeah, this is the point. I'm not Gertie, and I'm not joined to her hip. I can't speak for her motivations. I know she was very, very hurt. Not me. Okay, thank you, Zephyr. Yeah, because I've never tried to attack anybody. I might not like them or agree with them, but live and let live. You know, as much as possible. If people cross the line, then sometimes you've got to speak out. And I wish I could respond to Fiona's comments and give her peace about it, but I don't know, because I'm not Gertie. We've spoken, and she was very hurt and she felt very let down. I'm not saying that justifies saying certain things. But she has the right to say them. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because that's the whole free speech thing. But I think it was personal, and she probably shouldn't have. Well, she shouldn't have done it. But Gertie is Gertie, and she will do what she wants to do. She won't be told. You know, she's fiercely independent. So she's going to do what she wants to do. Like I say, I could give her advice till I was blue in the face, but it's not going to change anything. If she wants to do something, she's going to do it, and she won't be censored. I mean, I don't watch the Savage Partner parodies. I don't like those. And I don't think they're very accurate either, to be honest, with the black hair and the big nose. It's difficult, isn't it? I liked the old parodies when she did like Mr. Concerned and stuff. There is a lot of criticism. She's had so much thrown at her, and I agree with you, Chocolate. She's made mistakes. I don't think that's nice to Melza. I appreciate that's your opinion, but that kind of language isn't ideal, is it? So can we just watch what we're saying? And Gertie's been a good friend to me for a long time. Without her, I wouldn't have done this channel. She gave me a lot of support to set up this channel. And I think in her way, she did give a lot of support to Fiona. She did give a lot of support to Trevor. And it does feel like it's a bit of a pile-on at the moment. And she's had like a year and a half of like constant beef. There's been constant Russell Green and the Atalanta and all of that stuff, and slime, and people bringing up her husband and her son and her grandson. That's a lot to put up with. And I'm not saying that Fiona and Trevor haven't. I don't think anyone is saying that, but it does seem like it's a pile on. And I think Gertie's an easy target. I do think she's an easy target. Like, for example, Candle's live yesterday or today or whatever. I don't even know when it was. I didn't pay attention. Truth Central, or is it just somebody spouting what an old lady tells them? I can't remember. Am I just repeating the words of an old lady who should know better? Well, why are you saying she's an old woman? That's getting into personal territory. Why are you going to attack her for being... I mean, she's not old. She's 62, 63, 62. I'm not on any side. Acrobat's not on any side. Yeah, and I agree. And I think everyone's been a bit deranged on all sides. We've had Trevor drunk. I think he was grieving, but he was attacking a woman's child and threatening a woman's child. I know Fiona's had a go, got very upset and distressed and irate about things. Everybody does, because we're all human. They call us grannies. Well, are you a granny? I mean, I don't think being called a granny is a bad thing. I think it's more about a mindset rather than age. I think I just think everybody needs to calm down and stop immediately reacting. He did apologize. I'm not saying he didn't apologize. I'm just saying that everybody has moments where they lose control. Yeah, be proud of being a granny. Just because you've had pile-ons and attacks on your child doesn't mean it's okay to then do it to other people. This was my issue with Bron. Because I think Bron thinks, well, if they've said stuff about me, then I can just say stuff about them. And exactly, Chocolate, nobody's going to argue, because this isn't what this is about. They all react very quickly. She became so vicious, nasty, turning everyone down. Aunt Clara. Yeah, I mean, if you got fed up of it, then get fed up of it. This is what I mean. I think everybody should behave better. I think it's too easy to jump on TikTok, YouTube, X, whatever, and react. And I remember when I was about 15 is when the internet came into the home and we had MSN. And it was like, wow, you can do instant messaging and it's free, because don't forget, texts cost like 10, 12p. And it would annoy your mum because you'd need more credit. And we would go on MSN and we would chat away, and you could do one-on-one and you could do group chats. We didn't have emojis. And everyone would fall out. And everyone would immediately react. And we'd all fall out. And then you'd go to school the next day all annoyed at each other. But obviously we were teenagers, so yeah, I mean, you just get over it really quick, don't you, when you're that age? And I'm seeing it again now, where you can react so quickly. If you've got to write a letter and post it to somebody you've got an annoyance with, that's time, and it's a physical doing, and it makes you take stock. And I'm sure that a lot of a lot of creators, and I don't mean anyone in particular, I mean a lot of people on, like I say, TikTok and X and across all the platforms. There must be so many people that regret being able to react immediately. It is exactly like HS Mean Girl. What's HS, Aunt Clara? Zephyr, thank you for saying I'm doing a good job. I'm not the most eloquent person. Yeah, I think there is, oh, high school. Thank you, Zephyr. Sorry, yeah. It is more vicious and dangerous because we're adults now. And I think that it's just self-perpetuating. And I'm not going to say they're all as bad as each other. I think that's a bit unfair, because there are people that interact to a lesser or more extent, and there are people that go after family members and stuff like that. Aunt Clara, yeah, same. But I think they're all guilty of perpetuating the drama, and we don't need public lives where we sit down and discuss, don't we both think that this person is crap? Why are you airing it? I don't think anyone's patronising you, Demelza. That's not what I'm getting. I think it becomes a spectacle because the commenters and the subscribers, they watch and they comment and they go, oh, I feel so bad for you and I can't believe you're going through this. And it's great that people have that because it's a great support and it's a great feeling of validation. Aunt Clara, catching on to your daughter's abbreviations. That's okay. We don't tend to even call it high school. Are you from the UK? Because we don't tend to say high school. It's secondary school. So maybe I just didn't notice because of that. I'm not sure. I mean, what do you guys think? Because I'm sort of in an echo chamber, thinking out loud. You know, I think people want the support and the validation. It makes you feel good, and you can immediately react, and it just perpetuates, and it just keeps going. And I don't like it. I mean, I appreciate I'm reacting, but I'm reacting because Fiona left me a comment, and it was clear that I'd upset her and angered her, and I didn't want to have misled people. Because I'd left out context. I don't think that's right. So that's why I wanted to come on again today, and just go through that and say, you know, sorry, that wasn't my intention. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything that you want to say or share? Oh, sorry, need a drink. I wish I could wave a magic wand and just bring peace. No, I don't think anybody should be saying personal remarks about anybody. Saw her recent post. I'm glad you had a way to get your say in. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's therefore I don't have anything against anybody who defends Fiona and Trevor. I think Trevor has done immoral things. They may or may not be illegal, but I think he was misleading in some ways. but that doesn't mean I think he should come to harm or that people should have a go at him. Um, I have a lot of respect for Fiona. Um, yeah, I'm not trying to attack them, and they have the right to defend themselves and to be defended. It's just so tit for tat at the moment. It's vicious, dangerous, and kills your heart, mind, and soul, affects your health and life. It does, exactly, Aunt Clara. You've hit it on the head, and you see the pain. There's an awful lot of people disapprove of your conduct. Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone's conduct is good in this situation where they're all tit for tat and having to go at each other. Somebody needs to stop. Somebody needs to be the first person to say, I'm not engaging in this anymore. I think it's difficult because everybody wants to defend themselves. You're doing exactly. Sorry, how am I tit for tat in having a go at people? Because I don't think I'm being hypocritical. I think I'm just giving my opinion on the situation, and that I think it's really sad because people all used to be friends, and now they're not friends, and there's so much anger and pain, and I don't like seeing that. I've seen Fiona. I think it's awful that Fiona lost her husband and then had to deal with all this stuff. No chance to grieve. And I think it's easy to go, well, she should have stepped back. But then, like I said, you get so much support from people in your comments. And, people, we were all chatting and saying, we miss Graham and we respected Graham. Thank you, Aunt Clara. I'm trying. And I've kicked the hornets. I did say yesterday, you put your head above the parapet, you get shot. And yeah, I got shot. Raging, great big long angry comment, a 2-hour live with my name in it, which I haven't seen because I haven't had time because I had to go to work today. And it's like, all I've done is try and say, this is what was going on for me and why I haven't been around for 6 months. And making content. Like I said, I just want to clarify that doesn't mean I haven't been on YouTube. Telling someone shouldn't use words and then use those words is being very peaceful. What? I don't know what you mean. How old is Gertie's grandson? I'm not sure. I don't think I ever asked. Sorry, blimmin' dogs again. Blimmin' dog barking. Hush up, please. He sticks his head out the cat flap when people walk past. So I'm sorry. He's under 18, yeah. He's a child. I don't know. They do their own thing now. I think he does Xbox, and I think he's got his own channel or something that he does like creative things on that's like private, like just him and his friends and stuff. Early teens, maybe, yeah. I think probably about that. I don't know. I thought he was a bit younger. But he's a child. And I mean, I think it's really out of order for people to say that she shouldn't have him. She's got dementia, she's senile, somebody should remove him. You know, that's a really awful thing to say about somebody's child. You know, I think everybody's made mistakes. But yeah, I just think it's sad. You know, just as all the Russell Green stuff sort of came to an end, then it all kicked off with other people. You are engaging. I'm replying to a question, Demelza. Like I said, what I was trying to do is it was clear that I'd upset Fiona by inadvertently implying that we were in contact, and I didn't want to leave that out there. I didn't want anyone else to have that train of thought because I'd missed out some context. I hadn't clarified enough. And then since doing that bit, people are asking me questions, and I'm just answering with my opinion like I've been asked. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not going after anybody. If his schoolmates could see this in the aftermath of how it affects Gertie, I'd never suggest removal unless dangerous. Exactly. And sending police to her house saying that she abuses him, that's horrendous. You don't do that to people. It has been going on far too long. Yeah, it has been. And that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like, it's so easy to need to react because you're in so much pain, and it just keeps going. It just self-perpetuates. And at some point, it's got to stop. Demelza, can someone just time out Demelza because she's annoying me now, repeating the same old crap. You're not engaging and like enhancing the comments. Thank you, chocolate. Yeah, I think, you know, it's been hard on everyone. It's not just Fiona. Like I say, you know, Trevor's been constantly attacked by various parties. Gertie's been constantly attacked by various parties. And like every month there are new people getting involved. And it seems to be getting bigger and bigger, you know, as more and more people have opinions and want to share their views on it, which they have the right to do. This sort of happened on LawTube in the beginning. Is this all damage? No, like I'm not affiliated with Gertie. My goodness, I can't say this enough. I am not Gertie. I'm not employed by Gertie to do damage control. It's my opinion that everybody in this situation has done wrong to more or lesser extent, but nobody's innocent. You know, everybody has said something that I'm sure they regret. I'm not picking on anybody. I keep trying to make that clear. I'm not picking on anyone. I'm not saying it's okay for one person to say things and not other people. It's across the board. We're all adults. We should be treating each other with respect. And I don't think there's been enough of that on all sides. I don't think we should be making aspersions about personal, private matters, whether that's sex life, whether that's raising your children, whether you know, do you own or rent your home, has been of massive debate in some places. Who has she sexually harassed? Denise. Gertie writes vile things about a young man sexually harassing him. I've never come to that. When people start using words like demented or has dementia, no one medical is here to verify these claims. Exactly. I and many escaped to YouTube for alternative to my country and world events, not to be exposed to another type of bullying and attacks. Exactly. And yeah, Hosea, like most have just been trying to protect themselves from attack. But that's what I mean. That reacting in anger doesn't help. And we can react immediately now. And I think that has done us all some harm, that we can just immediately. Gertie said I never told her about my sister. False. Gertie said I was abused as a child. False. You denied being South Lie. Oh, whatever, Slime. I'm not interested. I know you can't admit when you're wrong, mate, but just get over it. You are not welcome in my comments. I draw the line. I absolutely draw the line. I am not Gertie. Christ. Thank you, Chocolate. Yeah, I think it's very easy to make claims of senile and dementia because somebody's over the age of 50. Thank you, Acrobat. Sorry about the dog. Again, why are you whiffing? Stop it. And people, you're welcome to disagree with me. You know, somebody asked me something in the comments yesterday, and I don't delete things when people disagree with me. I don't delete it if they're polite. Thank you, Chocolate. He does have his own channel, and he's not welcome here. I think he's the one person I would not talk to. The things he's done to people, I don't agree with. Well, you are welcome to think that, but he goes after people's children. He goes after innocent people. Yeah, no, he's saying I'm Saf, but why is he giving me a load of stuff about Gertie? Oh, Gertie lied about this, that, and the other. That's his issue with Gertie, not with me. And I'm sick of him saying I'm someone I'm bloody not. Just because I don't have TikTok and I forwarded a link. Christ. Where was I? I don't even know where I was now. Yeah, I think he's the one person. He goes after people's children, neighbours. He tried to dox Gertie's neighbour twice. Twice he tried to dox her because he thinks she's me. And even if he thinks she's me, what right does he have to try and dox me? I've never done anything to him. You know? I've never done anything to deserve that. And he says he talks for the people with no voice. But he decided that a domestic abuse victim, he should draw attention to her whereabouts to her violent ex-husband's brother. Things like that I don't agree with. I don't think you should be dragging people's dead relatives into stuff. So that's why I draw the line when it comes to slime. Because I do not agree with that behaviour at all, and I don't know anyone else that's done that. If there's other people that have done that, let me know, and I shan't engage with them remotely either. But I think, you know, that's a line that has to be drawn in the sand. Anything else? Because we're at 54 minutes. Shush. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I need to try and find somewhere where they can't bark and disrupt things. They're probably cross and talking about slime. I was once the mediator like you, but with age learned you can't help those hell-bent on negativity. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think he can defend his actions. I'm sorry. And I'm not prepared to talk to him at all remotely. Yeah, I think you know, mediation is hard, isn't it? And I do try to see all the sides. And I don't expect them to listen to me. I'm not Sapphire. Will you stop it, Denise? My name is Jess. So, you know, if you're going to be in my comments, you need to accept that I am not the poor woman that he has harassed for a year and a half for no bloody reason. Home without a dog is a less happy one. I agree with you, Aunt Clara. I always say you can't be sad when you've got a dog because they do silly things and they're so happy. You take them out for a walk and they're so happy and you see the joy in them, and how bad can the world be? Oh, you came here to play, Denise. Marvellous. I'm you can do what you like. I'm not going to engage in stirring. Don't let this infect your life, spirit, and energy. It's not easy. It's not easy, Aunt Clara, and it really did affect me. You block people you deem to be haters. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, I only delete comments if they're trolling and or if they're rude. You know, if it's a reply to someone and they're saying something rude about somebody else, because I don't like that in my comments. But if you question me, if you I don't care. Slime can say whatever he bloody likes. He doesn't know who I am. He's got nothing on me. It's become a joke. Where Saf will go, oh yeah, I'm Truth Central. Have you heard? I'm the famous neighbour. She was in Dirty's Live the other day, said I'm the famous neighbour. Have you heard on Truth Central? Like, he doesn't know anything, and he can say what he likes. I don't care. I shan't watch it. I shan't react to it. Because what's the point? If I react to it, he'll react to my reaction and it perpetuates. That's exactly what I'm saying. You know, people can question me. They can ask me, why do I think the things I think? And I will try and explain. You don't have to agree with me. Just don't be rude to people because I don't like it. But, well done, chocolate. Yeah. So, you know, I try and accept everybody. You don't have to agree with me. Anything else before we go, guys? I hope this has brought a bit of peaceful. All we can do is not engage or even look at those spewing this, not even for a second. It feeds their energy. I think the more important thing is don't give them the views because it feeds the need for validation. And that's what I was trying to say yesterday, but I think I worded it quite badly. Because I'm not trying to say, oh, if you like Fiona, you can't watch Gertie or whatever. But if you want to support the people or you really don't agree with what someone's saying, then switch off. Don't give them the view, you know. For some unknown reason, I'm unable to like this. I'm assuming you mean the button, not that you want to like what I'm saying, but you hate it. Because I hope that's not. I'm sorry the chat went downhill. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know how to kick people out, or if I can kick people out without. It's hard work for my poor mods. Yeah, I mean the thing is with leaving comments, Aunt Clara, is they can be deleted, they can be ignored, you know. And the only thing you can do is just not. Thank you, chocolate. I'm sorry. just don't engage. If someone starts saying something and you think, do you know what, that's not my cup of tea, switch off. You can all switch off me. You know, if you don't like what I'm saying, don't listen to what I'm saying. And then I'll probably not bother. You know, if nobody wants to listen to me waffle on, then I won't come on, will I? And it's the same with everyone else. But it's been an hour. I hope I haven't offended anyone today. I hope I've clarified things. If you missed the point of this live, then please replay and listen just to the beginning, like 5 minutes, I think. Because I did miss out some context yesterday, and I might have implied things that I didn't mean to imply. Thank you, Aunt Clara. You take care. Thank you for participating. Thank you, everybody who participated. Don't know when I'll be live again. I wasn't planning to come live today, but I just wanted to clear stuff up. I hope you all have a good morning, evening, whatever it is where you are. And take care of yourselves. My intentions are good. I'm glad you can see that. I'm not trying to cause trouble for anybody. Have some fun. I will. I'm going to go. Well, it's bedtime here. I know it's really early. But I'm up early with the dogs. So I'll be going to bed and putting on my audiobook and having cuddles. So yeah, have a good day, evening, morning, whatever. Take care of yourselves. And, you know, maybe do something nice for yourself today if you can, or tomorrow if you're in the UK and it's a bit late in the day. Thank you, Chocolate. I'll try not to take it personal. I just don't like upsetting people. You know, that's the main thing. I'm not here to upset people. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening, and I'm going to sign off now. So, cheerio.